Hi, my name is Luke, and for today's Grover, we are going to be learning 3 unique moves in chess. The first unique move that we are going to be learning is en passant. En passant is a move involving only the pawns. The only way that this move is to happen is if a pawn has advanced forward, and as it has advanced forward, such as to this square here, another pawn goes out 2 spaces in its first move. When this happens, the other pawn is able to capture that piece without actually touching it. Now, the reason this happens, or is allowed, is because if a pawn has advanced to this place, it would seem unfair if this pawn was able to get past it without anything being able to be done. So en passant allows this to capture. The next special move is called castling. Castling involves a king and a rook. It can be done on both sides of the board and can only be done if both the king and the rook that is being castled has not been moved yet in this game. It also cannot occur if the king would move through check to do said castle. So, castling is when the king moves 2 spaces over and the rook on the side it is castling to goes next to it. So, on a queenside castle, because this is where the queen would have started, the king would move 2 spaces over and the rook would move next to it. On a kingside castle, the king would also move 2 spots over, and the rook would move next to it. This move is done in order to protect the queen, such as behind a line of pawns, or to get the rook into play better. An example of this not being able to be done would be if, in this case, white would want to castle on the queen side. To do a queenside castle, the king would have to move to this square. But while moving through this square, the king would be going through check from this queen threatening this square, and this castle would not be allowed. The final special move involves pawns as well. This happens, or occurs, when a pawn reaches the opposite side's row. Final row. When this happens, the person who has advanced their pawn all the way to the end of the board is allowed to choose any of these pieces to upgrade their pawn to. They can choose a bishop, a knight, a rook, or a queen. This is allowed even if the player already has another queen. Some ways of making this work is if there is another queen on the board already, you may not have another piece. You can put 2 pawns together, and that would work as a queen. You can flip over a rook, or you might also just have an extra queen to use when promoting. These are the 3 special moves involved in chess. Thanks for watching.